Poultry diseases. This is the most scaring part when it comes to poultry business, because this is what most farmers fear when it comes to this business. And when you talk about poultry diseases, most farmers will be scared because they don't know what to do when diseases come on their farm. So it is a terrifying moment. We are still going through these poultry diseases and I'm summarizing them. We talked about Marek's disease, Newcastle disease. Today I'm going to talk about Gumboro. Yes, we also have another disease called Gumboro. Gumboro. Yes. Why is it called Gumboro? Because the vaccination or the vaccine was discovered by an Italian man called Gumboro. So that's why they named it Gumboro. They named after him because he's the one who discovered this vaccine called Gumboro vaccine. Now, these are the signs and symptoms of Gumboro. When Gumboro comes on your farm, you first and foremost, what you will know that Gumboro has affected my flock. They will gather in one corner. Yes, all the birds will gather in one corner. Why? Because they feel cold. They will feel too much cold and they will gather in one corner. That is symptom number one. Symptom number two, they will, you will see what we call chocolate diarrhea. Chocolate diarrhea. Yes, you will get chocolate diarrhea. That is symptom number two. Symptom number one, we say they will gathering together. Why? Because they feel very cold. So they will gather together. Point number two, you will see chocolate diarrhea in your flock. Then point number three, they will shed off their feathers. Yes, they will start shedding off their feathers. That is point number three. That is disease called Gumboro. Now, when Gumboro comes in your flock, what are you supposed to do? These are the signs of Gumboro. Then treatment of Gumboro. When it comes, do this. Do not panic and do not vaccinate your birds. Yes, because the moment you vaccinate your birds, you are going to lose 80% to 90% of your flock. Do this. Get treatment. Get quarter of sugar. Get quarter kilogram of sugar. Funa sukari, quarter ya sukari. This is the treatment for Gumboro. Funa quarter ya sukari, quarter of sugar. Then you mix it with 6 tablespoons of salt. 6 table salt. Spoon. Ebijiko mukaga. Get 6 tablespoons of salt and mix it with a quarter of the kilogram of sugar. And you mix it in which quantity of water? Just put it in 20 liters of water. Yes, mix them together in 20 liters of water and give it to your birds. In a period of 20 to 30 minutes, your birds will be fine. That is the first aid and treatment for Gumboro. If you don't do that, just expect your birds to die, because what most farmers do, they will give them antibiotics. If you give them antibiotics, you are going to kill them all. Yes, that's why your birds die massively. Why? Because you give them antibiotics. You are not supposed to give them antibiotics. Yes, don't give them antibiotics. Do you know what antibiotics means? So, these are not bacterial diseases. These are viral diseases. Viral diseases are not treated with antibiotics. Antibiotics are for bacterial diseases. For example, coccidiosis. That is when we use antibiotics. But most farmers want to treat these viral diseases using antibiotics, and it is very dangerous to your flock. So that is number one. If you do that, disease number two is what we call fowl pox. Fowl pox. Yes, fowl pox. Fowl pox yaliwa. Fowl pox. Remember, these diseases are poultry diseases. They are like this. They are like human diseases, the one which affect human beings. Now, like this fowl pox. Fowlpox in human being, you can call it maybe measles. Ono gwe tuyita kawaali w'enkoko, measles namusuna. That is what we call fowlpox. Even human beings, we are vaccinated with measles. Therefore, you have to vaccinate these diseases as well. So, what are the signs and symptoms of fowlpox? Number 1, swelling of the eyes. Eyes, sign number 1. Swelling, amaaso gazimba. Swelling of eyes. Amaaso gazimba n'okuziba gajjako ebimonde eriiso ne litundukayo bwe liti ebimonde. That is point number 1. Point eyokubiri, you get wounds. The birds develop wounds on their wattle. You know this oluwonzi luneeno olw'enkoko ekigo oluwonzi olwo wattle. So nako okufunako amabwa n'amaaso ne gazimba n'amabwa ne gatandika okujja eno yonna. So that is fowlpox. Ukasolaba amabwa nga gadevelopinze. When you see wounds all over and you see the eyes are swollen and they are now blind, so just know you've developed fowlpox in your flock. So we have to vaccinate these diseases. Treatment, you have to vaccinate this disease at 6 weeks. Yes, kuwiki mukaaga vaccinate just 4 drops in the eyes. Bubera bu drops buna mu maaso. Yes, so that is point number 1. Then how do we treat these diseases? How do we treat tujanjaba tutya when fowlpox comes? We just use 5% gentamicin. Yes, this is the chemical medicine we use. 5% gentamicin medicine. It is called 5% gentamicin. So you give them 5% gentamicin and you mix them with vitamins. Yes, and give them vitamin only once. Okwata empiso n'okwata n'eddagala n'otekamu n'okwata n'eddagala n'okuba enkoko waneeno mu bayitawo wano mu kifuba. Yes, okozesa n'eddagala 5% gentamicin. Oba si kyo gwoba tobimanyi, just go to any vent shop and you tell them that you have fowlpox. Tell them the signs and symptoms. They will know which medicine to give you. So just go to your vent, just call your vent doctor or go to any vent shop and explain to them what is happening to your flock, and they will give you this 5% gentamicin. Yes, and you will have to inject your birds on the chest, here at the chest, and also after give them vitamins to boost their immune system. That is disease number 3. Then another disease, we also have what we call fowl typhoid. Omusujja gw'enkoko, fowl typhoid. Ngana fe tulina typhoid mbantu. We also have fowl typhoid. Fowl typhoid. Fowl typhoid. Yes. Signs and symptoms of fowl typhoid: loss of appetite. That is number 1. Koko ziba tezagala kulya. So it is the same happens to these birds. They lose appetite. When you enter your flock and you see birds are not coming, are not welcoming you, they're supposed to welcome you. Anytime you take water, you take food, they have to welcome you. Those are healthy birds. But once your birds do not cater, whether you bring something, whether you enter inside and they do not welcome you, just know problem has come. Yes, togamba bugambi nti nga leero zinsaaside tezaagala kulya. No, niwe ziba zikkuse enkoko erina omululu erina okujja. So loss of appetite, bwe ziba tezina appetite zijja kuva gizirigiza, zijja sigala emabega nga zikutunda ekyamuli ng'ezitakulaba because tezina appetite. Loss of appetite. Point number 2 oba symptom number 2, enkoko eyambala kye tuyita ekkooti. It puts on something like a coat. You know, nezimbye ebyoya bweti nebanga eyambadde ekkooti neyezingira wamu bweti ng'omanyi omusujja gugiruma. Oba ali ogirabye enkoko bwetu. As you see on the board, you will see the picture going on there. It puts on like something like a coat because it feels very cold. because of this typhoid fever. You will also symptom number 3, white droppings. Yes. So these droppings, they will form like a ring, a white ring. Ojakulaba ng'enkoko zo zifulumya kalimbwe ng'aliko ekya white. Yes, the dropping will have a white ring around it. It will be like this. Then this part is whitish. White. If it's whitish, just know fowl pox has come. You'll find this part is black, but this other part is white. This is a sign of fowl typhoid in your birds. Yes. So treatment is 4 drops in the mouth. That is how we treat it. So whenever you get these diseases, just go to your vet doctor. Call your vet doctor. He will know what to do. Yes. So what is the cause of fowl typhoid? Biche bivirako musujja guno mu nkoko. Dirty water kyekisoka. Hygiene is very important when it comes to these poultry birds. Make sure that your place is very clean. Make sure that your feeds are very clean, and also make sure that the water you give them is not dirty. Don't give them dirty water. Give them clean water which you can even drink you yourself. If you cannot drink that water, that means you are not supposed to give it to your birds. Then another disease that affects our birds are the worms. Ebiwuka, worms. More so these commercial layers and broilers, they are affected with worms. Make sure that you deworm your birds very well. Or just they make that sound like a generator. Just know. Go is fake. No, it's not kufekera, but it is the worms, because these worms are here in the trachea, in the windpipe. So make sure you deworm your birds very well. Yes, because they have these worms, the flayed worms, whatever. So how to treat them? You just mix the medicine in water and give them for 4 days. Go to your vet doctor. He will give you the exact medicine to give to your birds. You just give it for 4 days. Signs and symptoms of worms. Number 1, they will lose appetite also. They cannot eat. They lose appetite. Decrease in laying. More so these commercial layers. Once they start decreasing in laying, today they lay a different percentage, tomorrow they decrease like that. Just know they need to be dewormed. Deworm them immediately. Do not wait. That's why these commercial layers are dewormed every month. Every month they have to be dewormed. They have to be treated with or vaccinated with Newcastle every month. Because Newcastle is a deadly disease which needs to be vaccinated every month. And also, these worms is a deadly parasite in these poultry birds. So make sure you deworm your birds. Another disease that we consider also in poultry birds is what we call coccidiosis. Yes. Coccidiosis is also another dangerous disease. What are the signs and symptoms of coccidiosis? Is what we call brown and branded droppings. Brown. Wakastola bakalimbwe. Ngali brown ate ngali mo musayi. Kino kyekidukano ky'enkoko. Kalimbwe ngali mo musayi, brown. Watery brown and branded droppings. Just know you have coccidiosis. This is the most common disease in most farms. Coccidiosis. Why? Because of hygiene. I told you that there are 3 factors for you to be successful in this business. Number 1, genetics, feeding, and management. But if your management is very poor, expect to have all these diseases, more so coccidiosis. Why? Because of hygiene. Biosecurity is important. Once the biosecurity is not, well tightened, and hygiene is not well tightened, if your workers are not good in hygiene, just make sure, just know that you are going to be affected with these diseases. More so coccidiosis. Hygiene is important in your poultry house. Make sure your house is clean all the time. Make sure you clean the drinkers every day. Mwino koza drinkers ezo buli lunaku. Make sure that the water they drank yesterday, they are not supposed to drink it today or in the morning. You have to change the water. More so those who use deep litter system. Leave alone this cage system. In cage system, we have to flush the pipes every month or every after 2 weeks. But anyway, we can do it one time in a month. They have to flush all the pipes so that we kill what we call salmonella. There are some, bacteria, salmonella bacteria, which develop into those pipes, water pipes. So you have to flush them every month with a chemical to clean up that salmonella. Yes, so poor hygiene leads to coccidiosis. Also, contaminated water and feeds can also lead to coccidiosis. How do we treat coccidiosis? We just use tetracycline 20% and sulfur. Tetracycline, you just go to your vet clinic and you buy tetracycline 20% and sulfur. You can choose any of the two, which one you want to use, but do not just follow my treatment. You just go to any vet doctor whom you trust and tell them that your birds are suffering from coccidiosis. They will give you this tetracycline 20% or sulfur. So that is the treatment. Another disease is what you call fall cholera. Fall cholera. Yes, I'm just finishing up these diseases so that we go to another thing, because we have a lot in store. We have a lot to study. Fall cholera. What is fall cholera? Fall cholera signs and symptoms is the watery whitish droppings. Ziri eri eza fall typhoid droppings zibera hard nenga zirimu karingi aka white nga kanga eno side enzo baya black nenga mulimu karingi aka white. Kanate mu cholera all the droppings zibera white nga teziri watery ng'omanya oyo cholera. Yes, oyo cholera. So we also have other diseases. All these diseases, just go to your vet doctor. He will prescribe a good medication for you. So we also have different types of diseases: bacterial diseases, fungal diseases. We have like the foot ulcers. Your birds develop wounds under their feet. Why? Because of hygiene. Same, it goes to hygiene. How you manage your house, your poultry house, also matters a lot. So if your hygiene is not good, like the litter is wet all the time, because these birds, what they do, they pour water. More so these drinkers which are on the ground, they pour the water everywhere and the litter is very dry. Make sure that you change the litter almost every after 2 to 3 months. Change the litter. Make sure whenever water is poured in the litter, change that litter. Don't wait for 3 months to change the litter, because if you don't change, bacteria will develop in that litter, because bacteria always want cold environment. If the environment is moist and cold, bacteria will develop. So it's very, very important to make sure that your poultry house is always dry. Make it dry. Do not give chance or give room for bacteria to develop, because bacteria can easily develop and multiply in a very shortest period of time. So they cause these foot ulcers and other bacterial diseases. Let me see you in my next video. See you. God bless you.